Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be for the sign of Capricorn. Really weird. Like, I don't know where my videos are going, but they disappeared. So maybe you could be thinking you're doing something, but in actuality, it's kind of like going into the ethers with like no progress. Or it could be like surprising, right? So I am going to look at like what's been going on. What do we need to release? Possibly if there's any stuck energy, how to go through and assist with that. And we'll go from there, right? The trustful. Where do you need to take a leap of faith? Where are you doubting like what you know to be truth? Like, it's kind of like through the reflection of the gratitude, like you already know, like because of the way the vibration of your heart feels, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's like what they're telling me. It's letting go and trusting like that the seeds that were planted, like for the highest version of self, right? For the highest version of collective consciousness, of the understanding of what's unfolding, right? What needs to unfold. It's kind of like there's stuck apprehension. And the question is like, there's something with the faith of a mustard seed. It's kind of like the alchemy of transmutation. It's kind of like, oh, whoa. They just said it's like through the vibration and the frequency that you've held for somebody else, like in the etheric realm. Like, ooh. They just said like you are in your meditations holding the world in your hands. And like as you see it push into light, as you see it in a higher vibrational frequency, like you are speaking it into existence, right? Like your vibration is pushing through the atmosphere. And so like there's this old thing where like you can get a seed and you give it water, right? And you put it in your hand and you kind of in between your 2 points, you feel the kinetic energy of that plant growing. And you just think and it's like with a burst of like white light, you speak it into existence. And then all of a sudden that seed starts accelerating its growth, right? And that's kind of what they're showing me is like with the proper watering, with the proper like vibrational frequency, you are commanding a new reality into existence, like, right? And I mean, I could be speaking to a bunch of cherubims there. That's a possibility. They are God's light and warriors, but really aren't everybody with angels, with angel wings? Yeah. So there is this, whoo, there is this clear understanding of its destiny, and it's like your passions being ignited like they just said through the proxy of joy and stability and like playfulness, like you essentially are activating this new vibrational frequency. It's kind of like it's understanding the alchemy of transmutation, right? I'm also getting somebody is playing with the vibration. It's like playing with the vibration of the all that is. It's like grabbing a seed and then asking the seed to show you its beginning origins, right? And then being a fly on a wall and perceiving all the journey of the evolution of the apple seed. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe somebody's out there just like a mad alchemist. Like being in nature, communing with the mountain, right? Speaking to the mountain, asking the mountain to raise its frequency, right? Asking the lower entities that have been attached to these said mountains to start releasing the grid systems, right? The grid formations. It doesn't have to be with the destruction of the earth. It just has to be with the acceptance of the rising of the collective consciousness. Those lower vibrational entities can no longer stay housed in the facets that they've been housed in for this elongated period of time as a ability and a keen opportunity to allow them to transmute, right? To transmute and release. It's all about like going with the reverence of the key components that it was needed for that period of time, right? And like through the understanding and the navigation through that higher state of awareness, like the vibrational frequencies will start to shift. This is really like, I mean, it's next level, like alchemy is what they're showing me. And the understanding of like, they're just showing me it's like we are all one, like we are all light and we are all like the whitest of light, like the Father in me sees the Father in you, or sees the Mother in you, right? And it's that acknowledgement to the threads of connection in the elevation of self. And what that's going to do is it's not necessarily flipping the way the root chakra is operating or where the crown is operating or the higher state of consciousness, but it's actually creating this rhythmic flow of a circle. And they're showing me a circle like an egg, right? So it's a little bit narrower on the top, and it just kind of bows out into an oval and it comes back down. And they're saying like through the understanding of the way they're showing me a neuron and the magnetic field. It's showing that like those two items, when they're in synchronicity, when they're in alignment, it feels like the heart is on fire. It almost feels like the vibration of truth cannot be. It's like it cannot be barricaded. It cannot be like captivated. It cannot be contained. It's like once they are in alignment and the crown chakra and the root chakra are fully, those two grids are fully cleared, it essentially gains free reign for the heart chakra to truly emanate throughout the collective consciousness. And the mountains will be the first thing to change. And then from the mountains, it will come the alignment in the stars. And then that will create a fruitful abundance throughout the energy source. Yeah. They said you'll know who this is for, like you'll know if this is yours, right? It's undeniable because it's something that you've already been playing with. Something with 171 and 2537. They just said you needed a stone, so that's why they pulled it out. Jade could also be relevant for you, but they said for sure clear quartz. And so like when you're doing this alchemy, you want to be working with that clear quartz. It's essentially an amplifier and it's also a transmuter, right? So it's going to have double duty. And then if you get a Lemurian quartz, but they really want you to get a clear quartz so that you can understand your frequencies of shifting the reality. It's kind of like understanding your time loops. I don't know. And in the connected point to where you're reaching, right? Like there's clarity in that thread selection. Anything else? They just said to get some regular cards. To what? Nope. Okay, so for passion igniting, there's some kind of a mirroring that's essentially okay, so this is for somebody out there, like the trials and tribulations that you've had to go through to increase your frequency were required. Number one, because it's a lot to put it on a counterpart when you are in the process of leveling up. To have somebody who is also trying to accelerate at the same rate of speed and then to do it within the same space. They're saying it's very, very complicated and convoluted unless you both have very curious minds. And I'm kind of getting like somebody kind of thought that that was not in their cards. Like they saw what it could be and they chose a different path. And it's the it's the internal loop of alignment, right? Like what is it that one coin is just as fruitful as 10, right? Whether or not you've manifested it or it's been gifted to you. There's going to be some kind of a reflection in the what could have been or the what could be. And it's like there is it's through the activation of this heart chakra, like whatever is happening, it's essentially, it's creating like a ripple effect in your timeline story. It's kind of mucking up what could have been because others, it's there you go. It's kind of like creating this ripple in the ether, right? It's kind of like when you dream and then you think, oh, this could be happening right now, but then you wake up from the reality. But there's an understanding of like the timeline that didn't get taken. That's what they're saying. And it can make your heart heavy, right? So as you're unpacking that, work with it through the clear quartz, right? If it's you, if it's another person, if it's something you've already experienced, like allow yourself to work through those energies. And this is Ride the Waves. Life lessons and growth will get you through this. New beginnings. Something is about to happen. And cleansing. Releasing the old. Energetic tune-up. New beginnings. So I think that's kind of what I've said from the gist of it, right? Play with your gifts. Continue to work through your alchemy as you proceed forward, right? Yeah. Welcome to the shift. I hope something in this resonated with you. If it did, give the video a thumbs up. Like it, share it. And if you would like a free reading, I am doing 33 complimentary readings, clearings, at the end of each month. So put your name in via online or Calendly, and talk to you later. Ciao.